So a while back I did a quick video on how to do the serial effects loop on this and go from parallel, which really helps out these DC-10s. Also, I was interested in doing a gain mod on this, and then after doing a bunch of research and tearing into this and doing it, I am wholly convinced that the mods that are out there for this particular amp anyway is not doing you any favors, and I'm going to show you real quick why that is. What has been recommended and what you'll find out in the forums, the Boogie board and that kind of stuff, is they want you to take this early gain stage voltage divider, the 150K resistor right here, the bottom part of the voltage divider, and increase that so more gain gets through to the following gain stages. Right now it's set at about 75% of the signal getting dumped to ground and going on. And Randall Smith and his guys did this very purposely, obviously, because I'm tried the 220K, which we're going to demonstrate here in a moment, and a bunch of other stuff, and it absolutely wrecks this whole thing. Yeah, it gives you more gain if you use 220 and above, but it completely changes the entire character of the amp, and it's kind of like tuning a guitar or a car, right? If you change out one thing like headers or timing, you know, a race car, you know, you have to do everything in stages to get the gains from that, and that's exactly what's happening here. So let's change this out. We're going to switch with my old trusty Heathkit Decade resistance box here and go between 150K, the stock value, and the 220K, which has been recommended, and we're going to go from about 3 on gain to about 8 with just stuff set to what I usually use this amp for, and hopefully the cell phone here will pick up what I was talking about. It just gets really fuzzy and boomy. You lose a lot of the articulation, and you do get more distortion for sure and more gain, but it just, to my ear, ruins the character of this amp. All right, we're going to start off with the stock value. It's 150K, and we're at about 3 on the gain, 8 on the presence, about halfway up on the bass, about midway on the mids, and 8 on the treble here. Increase this up to 8 now on the gain. So pretty tight. You know, it gets a little gainy and mushy, but we're going to turn this up to the 220K on the Decade box. Go back down to 3 on the gain, get rid of that fluorescent noise. So I'm hoping that's picking that up. What's happening is the low end is really losing a lot of the definition. I mean, this amp already isn't super tight on the low end. It's a little bit more open than some of the later Boogies. But I mean, that really gives this amp a lot of character, and it can be tightened up just by the way you set this, right? The 5-band EQ really does do a lot to this. And I have this set pretty bass heavy. You can't see this right now, but I've got this 80 hertz up, 3/4 of the way. I really wanted this to you be able to hear what's going on. And I don't have this mic'd, and maybe later date I'll do that. But it really starts to have this weird subharmonic, low, flubby noise, and it's pretty awful. In this room, it's pretty discernible. You can really hear it. I'm going to leave this at the stock 150. What I did do, which made a difference, is we lifted the 220K resistor over here. I don't know if you could see it, which is recommended for the volume taper. I've tried a few different values of pots. We tried the 1 meg. That actually was in here when I got the amp, and that does not work at all. So I went back to the 25K linear, lifted that one edge of the resistor that's to ground. That made a pretty big difference in the volume taper. That worked out well. Otherwise, this is getting recapped this week, and I think that's all I'm going to do to this amp. It sounds really good as it is, and as far as the gain's concerned, put a boost in front of this. It's all the gain that I think you'd ever need. But I don't know. You tell me what you think. If the sound came through okay, maybe I'll mic it up at a later date. But I'd love to hear from everybody. Let me know what you think. Thanks.